What's going on, YouTube and Team Takeover.tv? Wayne Shada here with none other than Jay all day, JMMA all day. Chuck, what's up, Chuck?
What's poppin', Wayne Shada? A lot of shit has happened as of late in the world of MMA, and we need to touch on this shit.
Yeah, it's been a crazy couple of days. I wasn't even looking forward to doing this vlog because I wanted to kind of push the Strikeforce vlog more, and I got like an overwhelmingly good response from the views. So I said, you know what, let me do this. And then what was really, really the big factor in me doing this vlog was the fact that what's going on today. But before that, I'm going to do my 133 predictions real quick because honestly, I don't want to bore you because I think the show's going to be boring enough. I'm taking Rory McDonald.
All that matters is Akiyama Belfort for me, bro.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to go with first fight that I'm predicting: Rory McDonald versus Mike Pyle. Pyle's a really, really good, experienced fighter. McDonald's more of like the young stud. I'm going with McDonald. But this could go either way. If it goes to the ground, Pyle's probably going to take it. If Armac makes a rookie mistake, I think Pyle's going to capitalize on it. So I'm still going with Rory McDonald. I'm going with the second round KO. You want to add anything to that?
We talking Rory McDonald just beat Nate Diaz, yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, just kind of wrecked Nate Diaz, unfortunately, which kind of pissed me off. I gotta go Rory McDonald, man, because he's just fresh in my memory. Beating Nate Diaz, who I, have tons of respect for, man. Yeah. So I gotta go Rory McDonald on this.
Yeah, Diaz is no pushover. Second fight. No. Jorge Rivera versus Konstantinos Philippou. I mean, to start off, before I even continue on, this show's been plagued by injuries. Oh, yeah. So Philippou, I think it was Rivera was originally supposed to fight Sakara, if I'm correct. Forgive me if I'm wrong. Sakara? Yeah. So I mean, Rivera's going to fight Philippou. Both guys are stand-up guys. I think Rivera's got better punches. The striking. I don't think this is going to the mat. Most probably won't, and that's why I'm picking Rivera to knock out Philippou. I'm going to go with the first round. I think guns are blazing. Anything you want to add to that?
I don't know much about Philippou, to be honest with you. Is this his first fight in the UFC, do you know?
No, both guys are tough enough. The Ultimate Fighter, wrong sport, right? The Ultimate Fighter alumni. So, I mean...
Yeah. I gotta go with Rivera regardless, man, because that Bisping fight kind of pissed me off, to be honest with you. But Bisping's a cunt. What else can you say about that? Rivera needs this win, I would think. Kazufa cutting everybody.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah.
Third fight. Rivera is expendable as fuck, if you ask me. No offense to Jorge Rivera, because I like the guy. But at this point, when you're getting put out by Bisping, because illegal blow or not, he was going to probably get put out by Bisping. And it's not a good look.
No. Third fight, Dennis Hallman versus Brian Ebersol. Both guys are probably the more experienced of the fighters in the UFC. Complete toss-up. I'm going with Ebersol just for the hair arrow.
Yeah, just for that. Yeah.
So I'm going with Ebersol. I think he's going to win by decision. I think he's going to ground out a decision. That's pretty much all I got to say. I don't care. I didn't look too much into this card, man. You know why? Because
there's so much going around outside of this card that just makes this card meaningless, and it doesn't really hold much importance to me anymore, personally. But it's just it. That's all you can really say about it, man.
Originally I was determined to go to this show. And the fact that Bosse Lane was saying that he was going to go too, so I figured that, I get to hang out with my boys and watch the fights. With all the injuries, I mean, I just decided that it wasn't worth the money. I think this ticket's online for like $60 on StubHub. I'm still not going to go for it. Either way, I mean, this show's got to be like $20 for me to go. I'd rather just watch it online.
Get a pizza.
Hell yeah. Fourth
Get
fight.
4 or 5 for that fucking price.
Yeah, man. Fourth fight, Vitor Belfort versus Yoshihiro Akiyama.
Woo!
Wow.
I love it.
Love the fight. Belfort's a striker. Akiyama's a striker. I'm
He
going
needs that judo base. He needs to bring that judo base out. He can win this fight anytime he fucking wants, I feel. He's got great striking, I think, to stand and bang. I hate that term, stand and bang, but I always find myself saying it. He has the technical ability to stand and fight with Belfort, I feel. But I think Belfort obviously has a lot more power than Akiyama. But if Akiyama just sets him up with some strikes, gets in a clinch, and just uses his judo just to get him on the ground, I think he can easily get this up. And if they cut him, if he loses, his last 3 fights were fight of the nights. If they cut him, if he loses, I fucking hate you forever, Zuffa. They're already, like, I put up with a lot of shit, but if they cut him after this loss, if he loses to Belfort, and it's a fight of the night again, regardless, I'm going to be pissed off, but yeah. I'm picking Akiyama. Submission.
I'm going to go with Belfort. And not that my heart's with Akiyama, though. I want Sexyama to win, definitely. I just think that Belfort's got still has it, and Belfort's got that precision striking. Akiyama, hopefully he comes into shape, because that last fight he didn't come into good shape, and he kind of gassed out. If it goes to the mat, I'm hoping Akiyama could just kind of, I don't know if he needs to lay and pray or do whatever. I'll forgive you, Akiyama. Yeah. If you make a boring fight out of this and win, I'll forgive you, man. I don't care. As long as you win, like I'm with you with the cutting. I hope they don't cut him. But man, nowadays it's one and done, right? You're one and done in the UFC.
It really is. Everybody's expendable, man. They're cutting champions. They're cutting fucking everybody, man. It's fucked up, dude.
All right.
But,
I'm going to run through this. Fifth fight, Rashad Evans versus Tito Ortiz. Going with, man, I to be honest, I like both fighters for 2 different reasons. I like Evans because I want to see him fight John Jones. But I like Ortiz just for what he's meant for the sport. I don't buy into the fact that Ortiz is back after one fight. Rashad's just an elite fighter. The only way I see Ortiz winning this is if, and this has happened, is if Rashad gasses out. Rashad is known to gas out. Once the third round starts, people start to get their fist on his face. And Evans has got a suspect chin. So, with that being said, if Ortiz, who has very good stamina, if Ortiz can somehow hold on, try to tire out Evans for the first 2 rounds, or just try to do his best to survive the first 2 rounds, he has a very good shot at winning it in the 3rd round. But anything before the 3rd round, that's if, that's in the perfect world. But nonetheless, I think Evans is going to win this. I'm going by decision. I think Evans is going to have a little bit of ring rust, and I think that Evans is probably going to lay and pray in him a lot. You want to add anything to that?
I think I kind of dig the Tito Ortiz coming back thing, just because I don't know. I don't really care for fucking Tito Ortiz, but I hope he wins. Just to spite Dana, because I know Dana still hates him, I feel.
Yeah, so
just to spite Dana.
With that being said, we go on to what I think is the meat and potatoes of all of this. What is going on with MMA these days? I'm in shock, man. I'm in shock. Business as usual. I don't care if
bullshit as usual.
Man, I'm at a loss for words. I'll tell you why. A lot of times, and I've mentioned this on Twitter before, you guys can follow me on Twitter, and you can follow Chuck as well. I mentioned it before, and I've told Blood Saline to his face, I think sometimes he's a little harsh on Dana White. I don't agree with everything a lot of times what he said about Dana White. Man, am I a fool and an idiot sometimes. I'm sure somebody's going to cut this up and make a video out of it. But
Yeah.
Man, do I feel like a fool now that you know, a lot of what Lane's been saying about all the stuff about Dana White being Satan and all this stuff. I mean, I know it's a lot of, you know, hoopla and all this stuff, but Dana's just nasty, man, with these cuts.
He really is. It's ridiculous how bad Dana can get. Dana is like a jilted lover with the emotions of a 14-year-old girl. You know what I'm saying? I've never seen somebody let their emotions just run them like Dana White does. You can tell the guy just does not think about what he's doing half the time. Well, not what he's doing, what he's saying to people. You know what I mean? It's just ridiculous at this point. And then the worst part of it is that all these new fans, you know what I mean, who don't know any better and who just feed into this bullshit and then spread the bullshit and become part of the problem. And these guys can't be forgotten that Dana White's trying to just tarnish the legacies of, you know, and they never will be, because all the real fans that Dana White says are freaks or whatever the fuck he said in his video. If it was up to the hardcore fans, I wouldn't be where I am, or whatever the fuck he said. You know what I mean? Well, you're right. He's right, though, because we don't want him fucking there.
Yeah.
You know?
You know what's weird is that this was never an issue about the Golden Glory thing, and for those who don't know, who are now watching this, all the Golden Glory fighters have been cut except for Haritonov. And it's basically publicly said that if Haritonov loses somehow in this Grand Prix, he's out.
He's out.
Inamo had a fight of the night, if I'm correct.
With Ed Herman.
Yeah, Marloes just lost the title.
Yeah, great fight, though.
Yeah, Overeem's the champ.
Valentin, you can do a lot with Valentin. He's a great fighter.
Of all the cuts, I could say Valentine. I can understand.
Yeah. But you don't cut champion. You don't cut a champion who just lost the belt, and you don't cut fight of the night guys with one fight. That was, and even Dana admitted that Inamo's contract or whatever was paid directly to him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he still cut him, and then even just recently, I think it was fucking about an hour ago, Marloes Conan released the twit pic of her payment from Zuffa's subsidiary, I can't remember the name of it, but it was paid directly to Marloes Conan, and the tweet said fucking, excuse my language, but...
No, go ahead. Say whatever you have to say.
What was it? Thanks, Dana, or something like that. It's good to hear you lie about my managers and my team or something along those lines. And it's just like, you know, retweet, and let everybody see that shit, because that is just blatant proof of this matter and of this lie, and it needs to be put out there, and these people need to know about this, because that's ridiculous, dude. What did Marloes Conan ever do to deserve to be treated like this? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
It's ridiculous. And him saying that there's nobody for her to fight. He said, that's why I cut her, because I don't see anybody for her to fight. Get the fuck out of here. Go on. You want to add something to that?
No, I mean, yeah, I'm speechless. I really am. I'm really speechless. I mean, first off, I don't even know what the situation was with CR, the killer. I don't even know.
Bahadizada?
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on with him, whether he's a Strikeforce fighter.
Strikeforce fucked him a long time ago. Promised him fights and shit, and then didn't come through. And he had a big fallout on Twitter with Scott Coker, where he was just saying Scott Coker is a pig. And I was laughing, man, because I love Sahar Bahadizada. That motherfucker always comes to fight. Then, and not signing him, I'm like, dude, you don't sign him, like, it is a move. But go on.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that, like, you know, I'm at a loss for words. You know, I don't like being lied to in my face. You know, I just don't like being lied to, man. And you know what's funny? I'll give Dana credit for this. When you meet him in person, he's just the nicest guy. Anything you ask, I literally saw him take a shirt off his back and give it to somebody. And it was like a regular shirt. It wasn't like it was like a UFC shirt, you know? So Dana's like unbelievably cool to the fans. As a businessman, he is a scumbag. The guy's a real big scumbag. I don't get it. There's a lot of questionable things that I think he does. I think this is only going to slow down the pace of growth in MMA. It's a damn shame.
It's ridiculous. And I just want to, real quick, quote something that Lenny Hart said, the Screaming Pride lady. She said, monopolies, like empires, eventually always fail. It's just a matter of how much carnage is done. Healthy competition is good for both the market masters and the end user. Worldwide, MMA isn't a playground for bullies. Giants shoot themselves in the foot if their bullying kills the very sport they seek to dominate.
Well
and
said.
How true does that shit ring from Lenny fucking Hart? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy. I keep on saying I'm just a loss for words, man. I mean, unless he plans on signing all these guys to the UFC somehow, I mean,
it's not happening. The relationship is so fucked up at this point with Golden Glory. And I think at this point, Golden Glory and M1 need to fucking bury this hatchet and they need to team up, man. There needs to be a large entity that won't succumb to the pressure and sell out when the time comes, when they're big enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because while it wasn't Coker's fault, it was the San Jose, or the Canadian business people who own the San Jose Sharks or whatever the fuck. They're the people, majority owners who sold it or whatever, but still, you gotta have people who are fucking committed to it and not gonna succumb to the big buy when it comes time to.
And so
it's so sad.
And so we see it now that an issue that was never an issue before, you know, I could have sworn Strikeforce was going to be their own separate entity. Now has become the UFC, basically a minor leagues of the UFC.
Just pick the parts slowly.
The payroll issue was never an issue before. Now it's an issue. You really could have waited one more month. I think you would have had more viewers. Nothing against. I think it's Daniel Cormier. Nothing against. I don't care to see him fight. I mean, as much as I do Alistar. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
man.
I know. Yeah. You try to give me Cormier versus Bigfoot instead of Overeem versus Bigfoot and expect me to just be like, oh, thanks, guys. Nah, I'm good.
So they just killed that.
I'm looking at the other side of the bracket, and that's all that matters. Barnett versus Haritonov. That's all that fucking matters. And I'm saying Haritonov versus Bigfoot final. And Haritonov.
But you know what? I'll be happy if either Barnett or Haritonov wins. Because I hope Barnett wins, because Barnett was supposedly never going to make it to the UFC again. He was never supposed to be trusted. And apparently, whoever wins this Grand Prix is supposed to get a title contention shot. So it's going to force Dana White to do either he's going to have to do the right thing, or he's going to have to be a scumbag again like he is. And I won't, and I hate to, you know what's crazy?
Surprised when he is a scumbag.
You know,
it won't be a surprise if he does it.
Yeah, I'm like, you see me moving my hands to my face. I'm like scratching my head because I can't understand how you can blatantly lie to the fans. And here's the thing: people don't educate themselves about MMA, and I'm starting to get sick of it, man. I was discussing it before. You know, I'm starting to get sick of MMA, and I thought, I always see Blessing Lane saying it, and I'm like, all right, you're just being sarcastic or whatever. But I'm starting to feel more and more like him, where I'm just starting to get sick of MMA, man.
It's a sad state of affairs, MMA at this point. And like Bloodstain Lane says, he's got 3 bitches: MMA, kickboxing, and boxing. And it's time to start fucking with kickboxing and boxing at this point, man, because MMA, and I really pray that the glory days of Pride will return in some form.
One FC.
I'm praying. I'm fucking praying. I want a New Year's show with Megumi Fuji, Conan, Cyborg, Fedor, Green, Haratonov, fucking Todd Duffy. Throw Todd Duffy on the card.
Yeah.
Fucking everybody. I don't even care. Just throw them on the card and let's make a company bankrupt for it. You know?
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know, man. There's something fishy about all this. I'm not liking it. Shame on you, Dana White. And I never speak out against Dana White, but shame on you. The hardcore fans are really, really disappointed in you. I know he'll probably never hear this or see it or whatever, but I am, I'm really disappointed in you, Dana White. I'm really, really sick of it, man. You know, I'm not going to start. You won't see me. I'm not going to start nut hugging, man. And this is coming from a former Zuffa zombie, because I'll fully admit it. You know, I was all UFC, pro UFC, and then the more you educate yourself, the more you see things differently.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and I'm not. And a lot of people accuse me for being like an anti-Zuffa hater, and that's like the furthest thing in the world, because I mean,
that's how you started. That's what you started as, Zuffa. Pro Zuffa.
Yeah, and and I'm not even ashamed of that. Like, there's nothing wrong with being pro Zuffa, but just be educated about things. You know, just be educated.
Dive into it. Don't fucking dabble in it. If you're interested, don't dabble in it and then try and pass your knowledge off as complete.
Yeah,
like you know what the fuck you're talking about. And people on the UFC forums on Facebook that just bash Fedor, and then literally a year later, he's one of the fucking smartest motherfuckers that I know, and just is trolling motherfuckers hard all day long. You know, 1 or 2 months at Team Takeover.tk at the forums, and it's over. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. What's interesting, and we haven't even gotten to Fedor. You know, Fedor got cut. That comes as no surprise to me. I don't know what they're thinking. Whether you like him or not, doesn't make sense to cut him. People pay to see the guy fight. As a business decision, it's a stupid move to get rid of that guy, especially after the last fight. There's a lot of people, like myself, who believe that the fight was stopped too early, and you as well.
Yeah.
So why not capitalize on that? Why not do a rematch? A lot of people, whether the second fight's going to suck or not, or if it's going to be a bore fest, banking on the fact that the first fight was so good, people are going to watch it. They'll even pay to see it. So, I mean, it's a bad business move, and you know what? It shows that Dana White is also doing something very personal against Fedor. He cut him for personal reasons. When you're 0-3, or in your last 3 fights, chances are you're gonna get cut.
Yeah.
Do I agree with it? No.
When you're Fedor, man, you give the fans what they want. The customer is always right. You know what I'm saying? And the customer and the fans want to see Fedor fight. Regardless of what you want and what your beef is. And like Dana White, the quote Dana White said in that video, I don't want to say anything bad about the guy. And then he brings out a paper of Fedor's like weakest opponents and just bashes him immediately after that. It's like, come on, man. And then when they bring up, well, what about Arlovsky and Tim Sylvia, your former champions? He just goes and doesn't say anything, doesn't even acknowledge his own former champions, just to tarnish Fedor. And it's like, I just want to say, no fight in the history of fighting has ever been a gimme fight. Ever. Fedor could have lost to Hongman Choi, Zulu. He could get knocked out by Jose Canseco if they would have fought in Dream. You know what I'm saying? You never know. And for him to try and even say anything bad about going 30, 31, or 32 and or undefeated for however long he did is just ridiculous, because you can go fight 30 people off the streets and you wouldn't. You know what I mean? Just 30 little geeks, and you wouldn't go 30. One of those geeks would know some shit and just crack you. And he did it in professional level. So it's like Dana White can say whatever he wants, but as the fans, it's like our duty to keep Fedor and represent him, even if it's like a guy like you who admittedly isn't the biggest Fedor fan. You know, I can respect the shit out of you because you call it like it is. I don't think Fedor was out. I think that fight was stopped too early. And I'm even more starting to think that Herb Dean something might have been up with that, because I was Dana White mind fucked me, I found out the other day. I believed for a long time that Herb Dean was one of the best referees in MMA. I don't know why. It was one of those little things that Dana White said that slipped into my head, and I believed. And then now I look back on it, Herb Dean is inconsistent as fuck. So inconsistent. And who knows? We'll never know. It's just in a fight like that, I don't want any gray areas. I want an absolute fucking decision. And that's it. Go on.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing more to say that hasn't been said before. If you're a knowledgeable fan, you know everything about it. Looks like, hopefully, now, I'm not going to go into whether I want to see Fedor fight or not, and the Fedor should go to Showtime and this and that.
Yeah.
I've read some things. Number one, we don't know if he wants to fight again. So me arguing and tweeting Showtime and telling them get M1 Global doesn't
sign up,
it doesn't mean anything unless he wants to really fight and if his heart is into it.
Yeah.
I don't want to see Fedor fight Cans. I know a lot of people say, well, we don't need that. If he wants,
send him to ONE FC and let him fight a couple Cans or whatever. No, I don't want that because you're just wasting his time.
Not even that. Even if that was his last fight, he went out like a champ. That's guns a-blazing, Scarface style,
with another legend.
Yeah, so there's no shame. There's no shame in losing or having an L with Hendo's name next to it. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
It's been this MMA stuff is starting to really get to me. I don't even know what else there is to say in this vlog. I think we should end it now. Is there anything that you want to plug? I'm so disappointed in you, Dana White. I'm so disappointed in you, Zuffa. I mean, you guys are slowly killing the sport and brainwashing people, man. And I'm not even a Zuffa hater, man. I'm not even a Zuffa hater. I appreciate the UFC. I appreciate the sport. I appreciate Zuffa. I appreciate Dana White's treatment to me in the past. I've met Dana White a couple times, and he's been cool as hell. I don't understand this. It's disappointing to me. So just from the heart, man, I don't know, man. This is really, it's just shady. Don't lie to my face. You want to gut out Strikeforce. It's like the WWF when they bought WCW. Don't lie to me and say, well, we're going to keep WCW going and all this stuff. Don't lie to me and say you're going to keep.
I fucking love WCW.
Yeah, don't lie to me. Say that you're going to keep Pride, and don't lie to me and say you're going to keep Strikeforce, and it's going to be a separate thing, and those guys could sign guys, and we might compete each other over the same fighters over contracts. When you're blatantly cutting people. You're blatantly cutting people for personal reasons because you don't like the guy. Like, could you imagine? Oh man,
it's sad. And I'm also disappointed. I gotta throw this out there. I'm disappointed in Lorenzo Fertitta, man. I expect you to fucking control Dana White. Control Dana White. And you saw in this interview today, Joe Silva kind of come in and kind of almost correct Dana White when Dana White was bashing Fedor by saying, we're not saying Fedor fought Kansas his whole career. You know what I mean? Kind of trying to reiterate what Dana White said, but I just don't appreciate it. I don't appreciate anything that they're doing. This isn't going to go on for much longer. I can assure you that. It's just so ridiculous. And as in real talk, I know so many people who just on the regular say MMA is just getting really boring. The cards are getting boring. And leaving the Fedor card, I went into that card thinking, fuck yeah. And it was like a snooze fest, you know what I mean? But really, that's all, man. just pissed off about it.
So you guys, please comment. I want to hear what you gotta say. There's people that criticize me on YouTube. Acre, I'm shouting you out, Acre. Even though you hate on me on YouTube, I don't care. you, Acre. Now, whoever wants to listen, if you don't agree with what I gotta say, you can definitely comment. On Twitter. I prefer Twitter because that's faster for me to write back to you. You have Chuck's Twitter name on top of his screen there. So if you guys want to add him and criticize him, or just say, hey, I agree with you, whatever, just any feedback whatsoever. TeamTakeover.tv. Right on the forums. Dude, it was an honor. I'm happy that you came on. You were on fire earlier today on Twitter. I hope you guys enjoy us. Is there anything you want to plug?
TeamTakeover.tk or .tv, Iron Forges Iron, MMA Japan, anybody who really shows me love, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate all the love, all the support. TakeOver IFI, that's my two teams. Allegiance to both. And rep both for fuck till the end, you know what I'm saying? Pleasure to do this vlog. Waited patiently. And time has finally come, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we finally did it, and we'll do this again. I always say, and if you disagree with me, if you disagree with me on my vlogs, feel free to come on the vlog and disagree with me. I can't have a lot of yes people, you can't have only yes people. There's a lot of things that I don't agree with a lot of people, and I want you guys to come on. This isn't just about being me talking into a camera. I want everybody to get on this. So Chuck's been hitting me up for a while now, for like the last month. I want to get on. So even on my vacation, he's telling me this. I'm in the Bahamas on a beach with my girl, like this with the corona, and he's telling me, I want to get on, and I'm like, all right, we're gonna get on. So thank you for watching. Shout out to everybody in Team Takeover, and peace out. Thank you, Chuck. Later, bro.
Thank you. Peace out, guys.